Great. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, thank you. I'll call the meeting to order. Donna, you want to call the roll?
Okay. Mayor Smith,
Present.
Alder Billiard,
Present.
Alder Hill, Alder King,
Present.
Alder Lancaster,
Present.
Alder Matheson,
Present.
and Alder Wilson.
Present.
We do have a quorum.
Wes, we have any changes or amendments to the agenda?
Not today.
All right, can I get a motion?
I make a motion that we approve the agenda as written.
Second.
Sorry, you're going faster than I am, right? Okay.
Used to go slower back in the day, didn't it?
That's just a motion, so you can just go all
We
in
can-
favor, aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No nays.
Okay.
All right, consent agenda. Does everybody have an opportunity to look over that? Any questions, concerns, comments? All right, if not,
Motion to approve.
I make a motion that we approve the consent agenda as written.
Second.
All in favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Numbers have it.
see old habits die hard. All right, next section, citizens input. If anybody would like to step forward and provide their comments, opinions, statements, just state your name and your address and feel free to come on up and give us your thoughts.
One of these times I'm going to.
As a citizen.
All right, so you know what, I'll close that section. All right, number 5, I'll open the public hearing for a request to approve a replat of lot 1 through 20 of Hoffman Hills Phase 1, a residential plan development district in the city of Willard Green County, Missouri.
So, as you may have recalled a couple months ago, Hoffman Hills came in to replat Phase 1. Phase 1 was patio homes, which is basically 2 homes that are combined with a common wall. They have since pivoted, wanting to adjust the subdivision back to single-family residence. They went through this on the planning commission and then on the board of aldermen side, showing that they went from I think 47 lots to 39. So there's less lots going in there, but they're single-family lots. And then all the infrastructure has been installed and changed according to city specifications, so they're ready for final approval. There's been no updates or no changes from what was presented to you guys before. So.
Okay.
Do we have any public comment? That's a public hearing.
Yep.
so we don't-
Public hearing.
Good evening, I'm Ricky Haas with Olson, and so I'm the civil engineer on the project. I'm at 550 East St. Louis in Springfield. Hit it right on the head. We went from, it was 28 total lots before with an A and B unit, so 56 total. And then we went down to 39. You see the new lot lines there. We had to rework some of the sanitary and water laterals, as well as the electrical pedestals. Those were all inspected by the city inspector, and everything should be ready to go on that, but I'd be happy to answer any questions you guys have.
Doesn't appear so, thank you, sir.
Thanks, Ricky.
All right, if there's nothing else, can we get a motion for the approval of replat of lots 1 through 28?
That was public
Before we
hearing.
get that motion, let's
Close
close
the
the public
session.
hearing.
I'll close the public hearing section.
And yeah,
Thank you, Howard.
seeing no one else needing to talk. Now you're golden. Oh, no, you're,
So
you
now
don't-
it's not, now
it's
it's
not-
not until now.
Yeah, it's not now.
It's not
It's
till later.
Nest report.
It's further down.
I forgot
Getting
that.
ahead of yourself.
Just always, I appreciate it.
Always
more
more
you
you
guys
guys than I am. Chiefs are playing.
Chief's game, I'm hurting people, I'm hurting.
All right, next item,
You got the
desk
score over there?
report.
Hasn't started yet.
Nothing motivates more than a Tanny with a game gear.
I have a digital assistant today.
All right.
There we go. Should come up on your screen.
Okay, so we're talking today about NEST, which is Neighborhood Emphasis on Safe Traffic. It's a program that we've implemented just a wee touch over 3 months ago. We have a two-pronged approach on this. The first is through pre-selected neighborhoods. There's approximately 40 neighborhoods in the city of Willard, and when we break those down to 3 and 4 neighborhoods per month, we can touch on each neighborhood throughout the year. So using the breakdown method, each neighborhood gets special attention throughout the year. Those are the pre-selected. And then we are focusing our attention on citizen-generated concerns. So any citizen who has an issue with traffic, speeding, a lot of times it's stop signs. Some people have talked about kids that are in the streets when they should be on the sidewalk. All of those things can come into us through an online reporting system, or they can just call and let me know that there's a problem. And it goes into a special reporting system where the officers focus on that area, focusing on those specific complaints. So we started on July 15th, and I took the data from July 16th through October 18th. And because we're working in 2025, I took those numbers and then compared them to 2024 for a compare and contrast. The total number of stops that we had in that quarter for 2024 and 2025 were 466 and 439 respectively, but we're really, we're more focused on what the neighborhood numbers look like. So the difference between 2024 would be 126 neighborhood stops versus 93, not a huge difference. Then I broke it down according to warnings, citations, and arrests. Those are not all exact numbers because sometimes the citation and an arrest can be one and the same. So it's not going to be perfect math all the time, but it is a good point of reference for warnings versus citations and arrests. Okay. Using that data, I went through and compared the NEST rates in percentages to 2024, and then I went back one additional year to 2023. I've highlighted in here what is most significant is going to be the citations. That's what we really want to know. We want to know the total number of stops and what's happening with those stops. Are we warning people? Are we citing them? Are we making arrests based on those stops? So in this case, when we look just at the 2 years in comparison to just the program itself, we're coming up to a 2023 of 40% stop to citation rate. In 2024, it dipped a little bit to a 36% rate, and NEST is about a 50% stop to citation rate. What's really interesting is that the arrest rate has risen, and I can't account for that. I just know that those are the specific numbers, and that means that either officers are finding a reason to make a probable cause arrest or they're clearing warrants. That said, it's also interesting to note that the 2024 statewide citation rate is 41.5% and the arrest rate is 3.85%. So that just gives you kind of something to compare what our years look like versus the last data for the state, which is 2024. So in this, I took some facts to evaluate. The first 3 items are really the most important parts, and that is that we want to be able to document presence in the neighborhoods because I've had people call and tell me, and it's kind of a common thing, I never see an officer in my neighborhood. And I don't know that that's 100% true, but I want some data to come back and say the officers are here in your neighborhood based on a citizen-generated complaint, or the officers are here in your neighborhood on a pre-selected basis. And if there are still troubles going on in your neighborhood, let me know, and we can look at those problems specifically, and they know that those problems are going to be addressed. The attention to the areas are obviously based on what the citizens know best, which is their neighborhood. And each neighborhood is getting fair and equal attention to the patrol time in the neighborhoods. The one thing that I saw that stood out to me was the 12% increase in the stop to citation ratio, which I thought that's, a lot. And I was trying to figure out what influences that ratio. And then it occurred to me two things. One is that we do a lot of overtime traffic grants. A lot of them are have to do with something specific that they're looking for, like DWIs or seatbelt enforcement. Those things that are very specific to, or specific traffic that they're focusing on. The expectation is that the officers do 3 stops per hour as part of that saturation patrol. And so when they make that stop, they're making a lawful stop, but if they're not finding what they're looking for that grant, they call it a warning, go back into service and stop the next car. So in those, that's where we get a lot of our additional non-regular routine car stops, where we're getting a cluster of those, and most of those are not cited unless there's something egregious. Whereas in our NEST program, the officers are positioned in the neighborhood looking specifically for the egregious complaints. They actually already have the intel to know what time these things happen, where they happen, and what's going on. So when they see those, they're already assigned to cite the egregious traffic violations. So that's what explains that increase. I have noted from the logs several times over, the officers have noted that visibility in the neighborhood, so just their presence, has reduced the frequency of violations, and that tells me that something is working. So citizen feedback, we've gotten that too. Some of the citizens, in the positive commentary, the citizens have actually approached the officers in their car and noted, hey, we see you out here, we appreciate what you're doing. Other people have also given us some, less flowering feedback, and that is that there are too many cops in their neighborhood, that we need to scale back and go to a different neighborhood. They appreciate what they're doing, but go somewhere else. So we'll keep that in mind, and I do want to try to keep a balance. Again, it's all about balance in the neighborhoods, so we'll reassess if we have saturated Hoffman Hills. And the way we know that is by the fewer traffic violations that occur in that neighborhood. That's what tells us when we're doing our job.
If I can just jump in real quick, as
Sure.
a little context on this. Fox Creek approached me some months back before this program kicked in, complaining about speeding going down.
Osage.
Yeah, down Osage.
Yeah.
So, we talked with the police department and I, and kind of passed some ideas around, and Shannon came up with the acronym and the idea and the concept of this program, really born out of Fox Creek's primary concerns and stuff that I'd seen in Hoffman Hills as well. Other neighborhoods were saying people running stop signs and whatnot. So, they probably did see them originally in Osage Creek because it was the initial response.
Yes.
So I just wanted to kind of.
And the
speak to
first.
that a little bit.
It was the first one.
The first nest location, yeah.
And
I have a question.
yes.
Do you think that the you would have a better result if it was not advertised what neighborhoods you'll be in?
So it's kind of a split. I think that we don't advertise the citizen-generated concerns. Those are not advertised. The ones that are advertised are the ones that are pre-selected so that people can know to look for us. They can know to, you know, it's kind of like a freebie that's just a reminder, best behavior today, you know. So it works two-pronged. So you're right though, because when we're there, but apparently they're getting used to seeing us there. Okay, next slide. And this is, it's just my favorite part. It has all the great pictures. Does anyone have any questions?
Who delivered a baby?
Okay, so to be fair, the baby was on the floor. I wrapped it up in a shirt. The baby delivered itself, and it was just, she pulled in, they screamed around, coming off 160, screamed around, and came right into the police department, and he came and banged on the door, and he said, my wife had a baby out there.
Oh my gosh.
Pardon me, sir, come again? Do you what now? So,
I just think I would go to the police.
we let him go on the turn signal violation. All right.
So are you returning to neighborhoods that, I mean, like, okay, so
Or
once
you've
you're in
already-
Hoffman Hills, it's like, all right, we're good to go, they're not gonna be back until the next cycle. Are you returning back into the more problematic areas, or?
The actual truth of the matter is, we are in all of those neighborhoods anyway. So our officers are required to patrol north side and south side a minimum of 1 hour per shift. So this just helps them to know where the problem areas are, and they need to document being in that area, but they are going back, ideally every day.
And if you had a citizen complaint from that area,
You'd go
like
back.
Johnny's speeding by again today, he hasn't stopped, then you would respond based on the citizen complaint, not the
Exactly.
nest cycle.
Correct,
Okay.
yes. Yeah, so it gets it from all approaches. 1, random patrol. 2, from the citizen complaints, or, you know, want to call them concerns. And from the pre-selected neighborhoods. So it's just a way to make sure that we're buttering the bread to all ends of the crust.
That's perfect.
That's it.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Steve, project manager report. Assuming your belly's not too full from coming from Darla's. I saw you come walking out of Darla's before the meeting. I hope your belly's not too full to give the presentation.
Well, it wasn't too bad.
Good.
Wasn't too bad. The only place you can eat with a knife and fork in town on a Monday night. Well, Shannon, I don't have a birth and a baby story, but we need to talk about birthing some pipelines. So, on the status of the projects, community funding partnership, that's the 94 Forest Main Lift Station improvements. On the financing side, we've held conversation with Piper Sanders regarding short-term bank financing. They've assisted us in preparation of requests for terms and are acting as municipal advisor in this issue. Carolyn has sent out requests to 13 local banks with a response date of this Friday, the 31st. Her review of city finances as a result of the submission of a final financing plan for the project. The approval of this plan is further in the agenda under resolutions. As far as the EPA goes, Region 7 has reviewed the construction contracts, bid documents, bid tabulations, and all compliance with federal regulations. They've given the City of Willard approval to issue notice of award to Young's General Contracting. And again, this is another agenda item later in the agenda. With regards to the Meadows connection to the city of Springfield, project was advertised in News Leader last Wednesday. It's been in the Oliver Martin Plan Room. Bid opening is set for 2 o'clock Friday, November 21st. So, if anybody questions on that, I'll be happy to attempt to answer them.
Doesn't appear so.
Ready to go to the next agenda item?
Sure.
Okay, the next one is a resolution.
Before you go to that, Steve, let me read it. I imagine Holly's gonna make us do that. I'll do that, Donna, unless you want to. Rebecca used to like to, but she took that away from me, but
You're running the show.
A resolution of the Board of Aldermen of the City of Willard, Missouri approving a final financing plan for the upgrading of Lift Station 94 and Force Main to Springfield's sewer project. Now go ahead.
Okay, in your packet is marked Exhibit A, it's financing plan for the upgrading. Resolution 25-44 required a financing plan be presented to the board. Our obligation for the project is $2,851,729 per the community funding grant CG 971101 from the United States Environmental Protection Agency. The proposal funding is as follows. We've previously expended $85,260. Cash on hand from the Hamilton and Dad settlement, $608,200. Cash on hand from reserves, $58,269. And net proceeds from short-term bank financing. And I asked her if that with the responses due 31st of this month. And it stipulates a closing date on financing on November 19th. Now, we're looking at short-term financing to move forward on the 94 lift station enforcement. As we talked about last meeting, we've got the Mills project out for bid due the 21st of November. Short-term financing is a start. Once we get the bids in and process them, we'll know what our total obligation is for Meadows, plus the $2.1 million we financed. At that point, the board decides if they want to issue a COP for both, or set the Meadows aside and issue a COP just to pay off the short-term financing. So short-term financing will be about 5% for 20 years. That's kind of the going rate right now. So that is a plan Carol and I are submitting. The resolution is looking for approval of that plan. And it basically says, you know, resolution 2544 requires it. Carolyn and I have submitted a plan, and therefore the resolution is the Board of Aldermen approves the plan and accepts it in compliance with resolution 25-44. Take effect immediately on passage and approval. So with that, go back to you, Mr. Mayor.
Any questions on the numbers or anything else?
The only thing I would like to see potentially reworded, Wes and I, with it saying a final financing, can we say transitionary or, because this isn't the final financing, and it's just a.
Tentative, isn't
It's, I mean, yes, we want to go on.
Stopgap, transition.
Short-term
temporary.
financing.
Yeah, so if we can change that wording, or is that gonna mess it up?
Nope, you can make a motion to strike final and replace with transitional.
temporary, or, I mean, like I say, we just know that there has to be additional financing, but with that saying final, to me, I think that
kind of locks it in that
that
way.
gives it not, because it's not quite final, because we might do the COP, or we might do,
What
Did
we're
this
saying-
language come from the,
What we're saying in this resolution is,
yes, we're gonna, I know what we're saying, but that's what I'm saying, it says final, so can we change that one word, and then I'll vote yes.
Estimated.
I don't have a
Accepts
problem with it, as long as we
The
don't know.
current financing plan?
Pardon?
Can it say the current financing plan instead of final current financing plan?
I see where you're coming from, I think it's just, it's a descriptive change. It
What about the word
doesn't change
proposed?
Doesn't change the intent of the resolution,
That is
I think you guys just pick the one that you're comfortable with. Everything else stays the same,
Yeah.
but it's more descriptive of what's going on.
I mean, like I said,
It's just that word.
transitional financial
Yeah.
plan, because we don't know if we're gonna do the COP, or
Final
No.
final is,
is final.
Well, here's the deal.
well, it can be amended.
yes.
So even if you approve it today as a final financing plan, that's a plan. Plan is only as good as it happens. So then you can choose to stay the course or revise it after you get the bids. And it sounds like you have as a triggering mechanism from a previous resolution that you would have a final financing. So it's language that was borrowed from your prior resolution, which authorized this process. So this would be final, understanding that with everything, you're not locked in until you accept the bids and budget and contract for the act. So you can have it called final, and I think that meets the requirement of the prior resolution, using the term final. With the understanding, there's more enacting in that, but this is your final financing plan going forward. You have two options in this final plan, and you will decide those options later on. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But you need the term final financing because of the prior resolution.
Right. Now, the way this plays out, short-term financing rates are due the 31st of October. We have a deadline for notice of award of technically the 16th of November. So what we're saying is, we have the meeting on the 10th to modify or change if we get financing terms we can't stand. There's an escape route.
But the grant requires you to have this resolution
Right.
saying this is your final
This is our
financing.
plan.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you need that as a triggering mechanism in the grant.
So it's a plan, but it's still subject to,
You
we
can-
don't know which way we're going
As Holly
yet.
says, you can modify this. We come back the 10th and says, okay,
It's just a resolution.
Okay,
things aren't what we thought they were. We've got an escape mechanism.
But to meet your grant requirements, they have very definite things they require you, and they need certain language.
good.
So if you want the money,
Yeah.
you should leave it at final.
All right. We get a motion,
I'll make a
if
motion,
everybody's satisfied.
I'll make a motion that we approve as read.
Second.
All in favor?
Roll call.
Or,
Go ahead and do roll call on
okay,
this.
roll on this one, okay. Alder Villiers,
Yes.
Alder Keane,
Yes.
Alder Lancaster,
Yes.
Alder Matheson,
Yes.
Alder Wilson.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, next item is a resolution of the Board of Aldermen of the City of Woodland, Missouri, authorizing the mayor to sign the notice of award to Young's General Contracting for the upgrading of lift station 94 and Forest Main to Springfield Sewer Project.
Okay, and this resolution body, a lot of whereases, but basically, this is important. And if we're gonna continue to grow, we've gotta have it. We advertised for bids, they were open the 17th of September. Young's was low bid of construction cost of $4,866,635. Total capital cost of projects, $5,830,49. City of Willard received community funding grant from the US EPA for this project on November 3rd of 2023 in the amount of $2,978,320. City of Willard is responsible for $2,851,720 for the total capital cost. The board's approved a financing plan, final financing plan, which you just did, to complete the project under sound financial terms. Region 7 has reviewed all construction documents, bid documents, contractors' compliance with regulations, and recommends to the city that the notice of award be issued to Young's General Contractor. Now, I want to point out something. And let me look at something here. When you go to Exhibit A, which is the notice of award document, at the bottom of the body of words, it's dated the 10th of November. There's a reason for that. That's part of your off-ramp in case things don't come back favorable on financing. And that date is chosen to be just slightly above the 60-day guarantee that the bidder has to give us to hold pricing.
So you're authorizing the mayor to only sign it on the 10th of November?
We're authorizing the mayor can sign it any time. The date of the document, we're going to make the 10th.
So be the 10th.
Now, I could hold this until the 10th, but sometimes you have a meeting and you don't have a quorum. If you don't have a quorum, we can't act, can't give notice of award, and our 60-day pricing guarantee from the contractor evaporates.
Yeah, I mean, he can sign it ahead, but you can't execute it.
We will not deliver it to the contractor until the 10th day of November.
No problem with that.
Okay. Again, that's looking at all possibilities.
And if your financing went belly up, you wouldn't deliver that.
Right, if something happens on financing, we say a disaster has occurred, we're not committed.
And even if the financing fell through, you then wouldn't have the ability to do it. So even if it got passed through or somebody grabbed it and shouldn't have handed it to them, it has no validity because it has to be
Right.
funded.
Right. We're playing a time of the essence situation here.
So need a motion on that one? Make a motion that we approve the resolution as read.
Second.
Did you have a first and second? Alder Billiard? Yes. Alder King?
Yes.
Alder Lancaster?
Yes.
Alder Matheson?
Yes.
Alder Wilson?
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Steve.
Thank you very much. More to come next meeting.
Of course. Someday we'll have bright new shiny pipes everywhere.
Yeah,
It'll be time to do it all over again.
40 years after you finish it.
Yeah, that's the goal. I can't believe we got pipes in the ground from 1985, but anyway, that's another subject. So, Section 9 ordinances, an ordinance of the Board of Aldermen calling for the regular election in the city of Willard, Missouri for the purpose of having the qualified voters of said city elect 3 alders, designating a time of holding said election, prescribing the information from the ballot to be used, and authorizing the city clerk to give such information and notice of said election to the county clerk of Greene County.
I think you said it all for me right there, that's perfect.
So this sounds like some
It's operational, basically.
operational election ordinance.
One alder for Ward 1, one alder for Ward 2, one alder for Ward 3, every 2 years. So basically, every year we're gonna do one of these. Except 1 year we'll have the mayor on there as well.
All right.
Make a motion to approve the ordinance as read.
Second.
We do have a first and second. Alder Billiard?
Yes.
Alder Hill, Alder King?
Yes.
Alder Lancaster?
Yes.
Alder Matheson?
Yes.
Alder Wilson? Yes. Thank you.
And if it's so agreeable, can I get a motion for a second reading? We can put this to bed.
Make a motion.
Make a motion for a second read.
Second.
Okay.
And that you can just take a roll call, because you're just voting on whether or not you do a second read. So
So I do the actual roll call.
you don't have to do roll call. So right now, the motion is to do a second read.
Oh.
Not the second read. So that, all in favor, aye. Opposed, nay. Motion passes. So second reading. Mayor?
An ordinance of the Board of Aldermen calling for the regular election in the city of Wheeler, Missouri for the purpose of having the qualified voters of said city elect 3 alders, designating a time of holding said election, prescribing the information from the ballot to be used, and authorizing the city clerk to give such information and notice of said election to the county clerk of Greene County.
Make a motion that we approve the ordinance as read.
Alder Billiard?
Yes.
Alder King?
Yes.
Alder Lancaster?
Yes.
Alder Matheson?
Yes.
Alder Wilson? Yes. Thank you.
All right. Next ordinance, an ordinance approving a replat of lots 1 through 20 of Hoffman Hills Phase 1, a residential plan development district in the city of Wheeler, Greene County, Missouri.
Unless there's any additional discussion, probably not much more to add, I wouldn't imagine.
Pretty cut and dry.
Nice.
Make a motion that we approve the ordinance as read.
Second.
Counselor Pastor?
You're out of practice.
I am. Do I need a roll call on this one? Okay. Alder Billiard?
Yes.
Alder King?
Yes.
Alder Lancaster?
Yes.
Alder Matheson?
Yes.
Alder Wilson?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah. Can I get a motion for a second read?
I'll make a motion that we have a second read on that.
All in favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
An ordinance approving a replat of lots 1 through 28, an ordinance approving a replat of lots 1 through 28 of Hoffman Hills Phase 1, a residential plan development district in the city of Wheeler, Greene County, Missouri.
Make a motion that we approve the ordinance as read.
Second.
Okay. Alder Billiard?
Yes.
Alder King? Alder Lancaster?
Yes.
Alder Matheson?
Yes.
Alder Wilson?
Yes.
Thank you.
Ordinance passed.
All right, next item, an ordinance authorizing and providing a contract between the city of Wheeler, Missouri and the Empire District Electric Company for electric service and equipment to light the city streets, alleys, public ways, parks, other properties, and public places.
I thought we already had this in place.
We do, and it's
You think
been
it's just
expired for a hot
renewed?
minute. So, we're just seeking to tidy up and keep those discounted rates for the
Well,
city.
by gosh, I make a motion that we approve this ordinance.
Thank you.
Otherwise, you don't get the good rates. They're doing it with everyone. There are a ton of clients who are out of contract, and so Liberty's doing cleanups.
Well, I made the motion, somebody second.
Second. Sorry. It's on sale. I got it.
All right, we have a first and a second. Alder Billiard?
Yes.
Alder King?
Yes.
Alder Lancaster?
Yes.
Alder Matheson?
Yes.
Alder Wilson?
Yes.
Thank you.
Make a motion to do the second read.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passed.
I just
Second read?
remembered something.
Uh-oh.
This is the one.
Oh, this is the one we
This
have
is
to
the
do
one.
the 30 days. So
This is the one.
actually,
It is
Joyce, will you make the motion to have this read at the first meeting in December?
Make a motion that we do a second read on this, the first meeting in December.
Second.
We were hoping to get them to strike that bit out, but we never did that.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Okay, so that's golden, so you're done. You'll have, that has to go on the November, or December. Because they require a 30-day availability to read the contract. And I think it's because they're controlled by the public utilities. But yeah, we don't require it, they do, so we're
It says on
complying,
the very
but you
last
get to
page,
keep the
Has to
same.
be available for
Yep.
public inspection, no
Never
less than
heard
30
back,
days.
so they're doing it with everybody.
Yeah, we'll on that one.
Any chance we can change the contract in 30 days?
We asked them, they never got back with us, so we just have to take it as written.
They will, they'll keep it on.
Jackie never contacted you on it at all?
No, she's out though, so that's probably why. It'll be fine, it'll be fine.
All right, next item, city administrator remarks.
All right, I'll keep this short for Holly's benefit. Little update on the Roundup donation program we were talking about. I had a chance to meet with OCAC, met with Tommy over there, wonderful lady. She's given some suggestions. She reviewed the ordinance draft that I've written, gave some nice feedback. They will be happy to administer the program to give the public that kind of confidence as far as eligibility determinations. She proposed that they would not charge us any administrative fees. They would just collect the funds and distribute the funds within the spirit of the ordinance. And even go so far as to provide reports to the board. She did recommend allowing a period of time for the funds to build up to make it a functional program. But just, it was a very reassuring conversation, so hope to have that draft wrapped up into a final version, get it over to Holly to have a look-see, and then maybe get it to you guys in time for Thanksgiving. ECO, we've got the task force scheduled for our first meeting tomorrow at 5:30. More of a meet and greet, but we're going to use one question to kind of start that discussion off. What would you like to see in Wood, and see where the conversation takes us. I think everybody's very excited to start it up, so we'll see what direction it takes and go from there. Jackson Street sidewalk, exciting news, it starts tomorrow. Mike said they're estimating that 5 weeks to completion, but we think they're baking in the weather, so fingers crossed, could go pretty quick, especially since there's a little incentive there, so we'll see how it goes. We've got the rate hearing, we've scheduled that for December the 8th, we've put notices in everybody's bills, and then I believe Rebecca had the work study scheduled for the 5th.
I think the 5th.
So we're gearing up for that. We've issued a survey for comments like we did last year, and then we'll talk about kind of the infrastructure that's driving it. Obviously, like everything else, costs are going up, so no, it's unfortunate, but it affects us just like everybody else. It doesn't go away because it's a water utility. But what we'll do in that work study, we'll try to present as much information in there as possible. Might help keep the public hearing side a bit more focused. So feel free to ask questions when we get there. We'll be as ready as we can be. And now obviously it's open to the public. That's everything I wanted to cover on that one. And unless you want me to make some stuff up real quick, that's it.
Something to think about, when we start to get towards that time is, it might be beneficial also to have Trevor in Public Works give us a breakdown of just 6 months or a year of, I remember 2 weeks ago, we had 6 line breaks in 1 week.
Yeah. We're heavy on that one. We're
Yeah, if we
working on
can,
that.
have a visual representation of, just look at this, it's like if you propose someone's, mechanic bill for your car, and you see that every other week it's in the shop, because it's always breaking, it might be good for the people to say, oh, wow. This
Another request
does
we've
take
had
some
is
time and
a
money.
visual representation of the financial side, so we're gonna put some pie charts up, kind of show where the money's going. And then we also have, one of our staff, I mentioned Bolivar last year, and I guess it went by the wayside, but one of our staff actually lives there and works here, and so he's very willing to discuss the outcome of not taking care of your infrastructure and the effect it can have on the utility.
And I don't know if you guys, I mentioned it this morning, Neosho, I saw an article the other day, Neosho's in discussions now, possibly selling their utility to a private company, so be some good background information out there for everybody.
Yeah, we'll throw as much out there as we can, try and help people understand what we're doing. I still believe vehemently that it's better for the community to own their utility than to sell it. I've seen it personally, we've got other people that have seen it personally. You can Google search.
Yeah,
A lot of
there's
communities
information.
having buyer's remorse over that stuff, so.
And there's a tipping point. There are some communities that are so small, they just can't.
Yeah.
They just don't have capacity, and you guys aren't in that situation.
No, I think we have every opportunity to make it work well.
All right, any new business? Anybody? Any unfinished business?
I do have a question, and I believe it would fall under unfinished business. Where,
Holly will tell us if it's that.
where are we with the water towers?
The water towers. That is gonna be a longest story. I can share with you next week as part of the work study.
Okay.
We had planned to, I think we budgeted 135,000 this year to do it this year. Well, the costs have gone up, so
Of course they have.
we've pushed it off to next year. It's still on there. I think the focus really needs to be interior.
Interior, right.
And I think if we have to pick and choose, we do the Meadows, because that one is gonna be an expensive repair if the sides fall off it, so.
Okay.
That's the abbreviated
Right.
version, but yeah, we can go over that when we do the capital costs.
We haven't really talked about it in a while, and I know that that is one of our biggest pressing.
It is, we haven't lost track of that, I think, and you'll see kind of this as we go through the budget, were we in a different position where we'd set the budget up? Could have probably executed some of these things. I think in this particular case, the cost would have still gone up before we could execute, so.
That's not surprising.
I think it's 300 we're budgeting for the interior, is it now?
200.
200, and then how much for the exterior, was that 400? I'm misremembering.
The outside, 300.
300, oh, so I'm off about that.
300,000?
Because the exterior
To clean the
Meadows is
exterior?
looking real rough.
Keep
We were-
in mind that Meadows is slightly different, but exterior is for pretty points only generally. It's the interior that's critical.
Right.
The exterior on that one, I believe, will also benefit from the exterior being there. But we can talk about that.
I literally just, that was.
It's not the greatest look. It's really not. And what I'd like to
It's
try
looking
to.
rough, and I know that when you drive by and you look at it, you think, what's that doing to our water? And I know that external
It doesn't
has nothing to
penetrate, but
do
it's
with
not a great
the
look.
internal,
Yeah.
but it's just ugly. So.
We
it
have
makes me wonder-
lots of pictures we can bring. I mean, we'll have as much information as you're curious about, but the interior does need, and with metal fatigue, I mean, the longer you leave it, the faster it goes, so it definitely.
I do think it's something that we need to address to the community
Okay.
soon, to go along with the water rates, et cetera.
I'll try and do a video.
Give us some harness and some rope, and I think we can do for less than 300,000.
So curious fact, they're gonna have to put a nice big cut.
It's gonna have to have the cape, yeah,
Yeah,
because
I don't think there's enough
overspray.
potato sacks in Green County to cover that thing.
You have a big circus tent, Troy?
Don't ask.
I can rappel that out for 300,000, my goodness, we're in the wrong business.
Right.
We can roll it on and not spray it.
We're gonna have a community paint day.
So fascinating story number 2. There's so many layers on
Kidding.
that, it's just gonna fall off.
Pay attention to the time.
All right,
You got time,
David, item 13? Or do you have anything else on unfinished?
We can skip that one, I did not get the legal update I was expecting, so we can skip.
Oh, we can
right
skip
over-
the legal then?
Skip right over, it. Yep.
All right,
So
so we don't need closed?
make a
That's it.
motion to recess.
Motion to adjourn if you want.
Motion to adjourn.
I make a motion that we adjourn the meeting.
My favorite.
All in favor?